Hi, my name is Reverend Todd Boling, and I'm the Senior Associate Chaplain in the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life here at TCU. And thanks for joining us for our second video in our virtual Enneagram series. Today we will begin to look at some of the 9 types. The Enneagram is broken into 3 triads: the thinking triad, the feeling triad, and the instinctive triad. And when we're talking about triads, we're talking about these 3 types sharing common themes. Today, we're going to begin by looking at the feeling triad. It's important to remember as we look at the individual types that there are no types that are any better or any worse than any other. Every type has its own assets and every type has its own liabilities. And so as we look at the feeling triad today, we're talking about types 2, 3, and 4. Type 2 is often called the helper. 2s are focused on the needs of other people. They're the most relationship-oriented of the 9 types. 2s wake up in the morning and they think about the people that they love in their lives, and they think about what they might do to make their life better. 2s are extremely focused on relationships. It's what drives them. It's what gives their life purpose and meaning. 2s often find themselves in professions that allow them to be really great caregivers. But 2s often find themselves in careers that are focused on the needs of other people. Where 2s get into trouble is that they're so focused on the needs of other people, sometimes they forget to be present to their own needs. And after a while, 2s are like anybody else. When those needs haven't been met, 2s become assertive and they become aggressive and they become frustrated that they've cared for so many people, but no one's really cared for them. So it's important for 2s to make sure that they're finding ways to be present to their own needs and to name those needs for others so that those needs can be met as well. Type 3s are our achievers. Type 3s are the most goal-oriented of the 9 types. 3s are usually very good at what they do and are often known as experts in their respective fields. 3s are comfortable in the spotlight and in the limelight because they want people to see them as being good at what they do. So 3s you will often find professions that allow them to be in the spotlight or to be a very visible role within an organization, be that politicians, star athletes, or heads of organizations and institutions. The challenge becomes losing themselves in the midst of that. When they're constantly networking and connecting with people, they are adjusting and adapting who they are in those moments to be successful. And in doing so, they can lose their sense of self. Type 4s are called the individualists. Type 4s are the most creative. 4s are very connected to their feelings. Sometimes they feel things that are positive, and other times they're going to feel things that are more negative. When 4s are in good places, it's obvious to see. And when 4s are in bad places, it's also obvious to see. But in every instance, 4s can take those feelings and they can use those to create something beautiful that can transform the lives of other people. 4s often find themselves in professions that allow themselves the freedom to live into their creativity. That could be art, visual art, graphic design, music. But 4s can also find themselves in professions that allow themselves to create content, educational content that can be helpful to others as well. As I mentioned, types 2, 3, and 4 make up the feeling triad. And the dominant feeling or emotion connected to the feeling triad is shame. And they each engage the feeling of shame in different ways. Type 2 will engage the feeling of shame by focusing on the needs of other people and trying to get them to like them. Type 3 will deny their sense of shame and push it away so that they don't have to deal with their feelings of inadequacy. And Type 4 will internalize their feeling of shame as they sit with their own feelings and identify ways that they're unique and different from everyone else in the world around them. That's a quick overview of the feeling triad and the 3 types within it. Tune in to our next video as we look at our thinking triad and those individual types as well. Thanks for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy.